Boom, boom, boom. Hi, I'm Alex Mack, part of the Call to Action crew, and you're here with me today to really kind of dive into and react to one of the first matches of the IG Schmodown tournament. So I'm super excited, if you can't tell. No big deal, right? We're gonna be kind of going into specifically Ben Goddard up against. I am so sorry if I am butchering your name. I apologize, Jim. Vevjoda. Vevjoda? Please, someone correct me. I apologize. I'm horrible when it comes to butchering names for everyone across the board, so I apologize. So please help me out and correct me. I would really, really appreciate it. So Ben Goddard is obviously representing the Den, and Jim is actually going to be representing the RoxStars. And obviously, between the Den and the RoxStars, this is not a new thing. This has happened before, and we're going to see more of it in the future. But again, these are two really incredibly talented competitors going into it. Now, I do want to, before we kind of dive into the match, the specifics, I do want to talk a little bit about these individual competitors, where they're at, and why both these players both need a win. Okay, obviously, but specifically, just kind of diving into it. So the Den, with Ben Goddard, obviously sitting at a high of 12 points. Ben Goddard has been actively involved with a lot of these points, being involved in teams as well as singles. He's definitely is being argued to be in complete contenders for Rookie Competitor of the Year, which he would 100% deserve to get that nomination. As far as him actually getting that win, that's very much debatable. That would probably be my guess personally so far. But don't hold your breath. But also, Jim, over there with the RoxStars, the RoxStars are definitely in need of a win right now if they want to, go up against if they want to beat the Burning Droogs. That is just one thing ahead of them, essentially, one standing ahead of them. They're both at 6 points apiece, but the Droogs have won significantly more than the RoxStars, so sadly, but true. All right, well, let's go ahead and get into it. Yes, just kind of saying hi to everyone that's watching. Thank you so much. There's a lot going on right now, and I'm super appreciative of you hanging out with me today. I'm sorry. I feel like I want to get drunk, but I'm not. But it's just me. What are you gonna do? Yes, but this is live, sugar. Yes, this is my first time. I've never seen this match. I have avoided socials and everything regarding this match in particular. I've been active socials for other stuff, but I haven't really talked about this much or anything at all. But yes, thank you so much for hanging out with me, and let's just go ahead and dive into it. Okay, and we'll also touch on this here directly after. Also, please, in the chat, please don't tell me who is gonna win. Please, I for the love of God, please help me out here, and don't go into all that stuff in the chats at all. But I'm gonna be attempting to survive with playing along as well, just for a wee bit, and then I'm like, oh wait, this is actually really going to be really difficult, so I'm going to stop. So who knows? All right, let's go. I am so ready for IG, guys. I am so ready for IG. The Whiskey Man. Just saying, the Whiskey Man is a great name, and I'm actually low-key sad.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Movie Trivia Schmodown virtual style here, and it is the Innergeekdom Tournament. The Star Wars tournament is still up and running on Twitch every Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen, but now it is the Innergeekdom Tournament. Mark Ellis, the Innergeekdom division has been something over the course of the last 4 years. Of course, starting off in 2016 when we saw Robert Meyer Burnett as the first Innergeekdom champion, and since then it has become like the classic intercontinental division in the late 80s of wrestling. That reference means nothing to you, but how do you feel about this particular tournament?
Oh, Christian, I'm so glad you called on me. I still remember when Robert Meyer Burnett won that first Innergeekdom Championship.
Gosh, right?
And I remember the look on his face afterwards. He was chilling in our common room at Collider, and he was having a beer, and he just looked exhausted. And that should be noted for anybody who wants to get to that level. Is weary is the head that wears the crown. But Christian, today we have 2 all-star competitors looking to get that crown. They want to be that exhausted in Ben Goddard and Jim Vevjoda. Now, as you can hear the construction behind me, these people are ready to go today.
Really
Everybody's amped.
They are in because it means a lot for the factions, and that's what these tournaments have meant to all of the factions. And we knew because of where we are and with the pandemic at hand, we were forced to do these matches virtual. But we started with exhibition matches; those went over really well. Then we transitioned and doing Star Wars matches on Twitch; those went over really well. We had put into plan this big 18-person tournament, and we now are going to have. This is a play-in match. This is the second play-in match by the RoxStars and Roxy Stryer, and she chose Jim Vevjoda. This is a big match for the RoxStars. They had a play-in match in Star Wars. Josh Barbato got knocked out in the first round. They need the points. They really need the points here. Jim Vevjoda is an excellent player. He knows movie knowledge very well. His knowledge of the game of Schmodown has been questioned. We all know about the biopic.
She's in desperate need of
what
points
has he done since? Has Roxy Stryer helped him learn the game a little bit more? We don't know yet. And then you got Ben Goddard representing the Den with both Kate Mulligan and Grace Hancock, who have been in his ear, helping him throughout this journey, right? And he has been nothing but exceptional so far. He's won 2 teams matches. He's won a singles match. He held his own in the Lord of the Rings exhibition match.
Oh my gosh, that exhibition match.
The kid looks unfazed, Christian. The pressure does not get to him at all. He obviously has a lot of on-camera experience. But with David, I think you're getting a different one than we've ever seen before, because he was always a guy where you never doubted his knowledge. You doubted how much he knew the Schmodown in and out. I think that he has gotten over that mountain. I think that he has now reached that level where he knows how to play the game, and he's got managers in his corner that are experts at it. So this is going to be a very even match that we have kicking off the Innergeekdom Tournament.
And as we mentioned before, we have so much history already inside of this league, already with the factions. And here's how we got here right now.
Let's dive into it.
I haven't played in a Schmodown for like a year and a half. So
and by golly, rusty, you have missed a fucking lot, my man. So much.
Really? It's back.
Spectrum presents
come on.
Dish with Kev on stage.
What can happen to DirecTV's signal when it rains?
There we go. There we go.
I hate losing.
You look at the RoxStars.
What?
6 points.
And your winner!
I let you down as a manager today because I needed to make sure that you were stronger in round 2. So we'll be back and we'll be better than ever next time.
Oh. Hey guys. Just use my fanny pack as a master of this quarantine. I'm outside of Roxy Stryer's house here. It's a pretty messy house, huh?
I would love to answer that question, but I was so distracted by thinking about how smart you are and how you've won.
So distracted of my house. It's so messy.
Coming out the gate here, 2 straight victories.
Is that Boston? Is it supposed to be Boston? Is that like Midwestern, like Minnesota?
I was just as shocked as anyone. I was like,
Shaka.
So this is what, my 3rd league I'm competing in? Okay, let's get some wins in this one now, too.
Hello, Ben. That is your real name. I'm Jim.
Jim Vevjoda, heck of a guy. Nice guy. Heck of a competitor. Putting Highbond in the backpack in his last match.
I know you think you're one of the big boys now. I got news for you. It's a lot harder than it looks.
Oh my gosh, Jared Highbond.
You might want to go back to the kids' table because
I feel so bad.
Good at everything.
I'm the guy who's here. Kick your ass. I'm gonna beat you like a war drum.
No, he's going to do Jericho. He's going to disappoint.
We need the points, and we have to win.
I'm ready to devour, to win, survive. Right now,
that was great.
I don't see the player in front of me. I just see the next victory. And unfortunately, RoxStars, you're gonna have to take another L.
You've had a crazy quarantine, but it looks like it's about to get a lot more mellow for you because it's gonna be a pretty short tournament.
We'll see, my man. Last time you said that, that was really bad for you, but things can change.
As you see, Mark, once again, a great promo by the great Eric, the Nerd Chronic himself, putting together to show you how much this means to the factions, to show you how much the RoxStars need some points. The Den have been exceptional this year.
I would love to see
Rookie manager Kate Mulligan showing that she knows the game fairly well, and this could be a big move from them trying to catch the #1 spot.
Yeah, who do you think's feeling the most pressure right now besides me trying to get the dog to stop barking at the construction workers? I got to put it on not a competitor. I actually think Kate Mulligan is a little nervous right now. I was talking to her pre-show, and she just seems a little on edge, like she wants to make sure she has all of her ducks in a proverbial row.
There's two sides of the nervousness. You got Kate Mulligan, obviously, because she's so invested in her players. She's so invested in it, as is Grace, and they're both ready, and they know what it means to win. They've been there. I believe that the pressure's on the RoxStars. Now, Roxy Stryer couldn't be here today, and Hall of Famer, former team champion Mark Andreyko will be in that spot as manager here today. But this is a big one from the RoxStars. If they get knocked out in the play-in match and only have Alex Damon to rely on, they're really stretching on that last leg.
Yeah, as if that kid needed more pressure on his shoulders. He's already got a really heavy belt, and so carrying an entire faction, that may be a little too much for any one person to handle. So it's time for not only the competitors, but also Mark Andreyko to step into the winner's circle.
All right, Mark, so with that, you ready to get going?
It's time to punish a loser? I don't know. That was my name today.
Oh, not that. Well, no, but it's time for movie trivia schmodown. You ready? Yeah. Well, then I'll do it for real. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the movie trivia schmodown. Mark, before we get to our competitors, let's get to the managers here. We're gonna have three of them in here. We got Kate Mulligan, Grace Hancock, and of course, representing the RoxStars, Mark Andreyko. Let's start with Grace Hancock here, the Lioness. Grace, you've got to be happy with your protege here, the Den mother, Kate, and what you guys have accomplished with the Den this season.
I mean, look, do I know how to pick them or do I know how to pick them? I don't mess around. We're totally unfazed today. Contrary to what our friend Mark Ellis has said, Kate is not nervous. She eats hot dogs when she's at peace, and we are not nervous for this match. The pressure is not on us today.
That's right.
We're going to lay back and win.
So
my mother always told me never eat a hot dog in public.
Well,
your mom sounds lame.
Your mom's not from Chicago, I'll tell you that right now.
Well, let me ask you, Grace, one of the things that you and Roxy have obviously had your past before. You still have not confirmed nor denied that you were the one that made her go in the wrong direction for one of her really important matches. You've had a few exchanges with her before.
I can't remember.
Is it somewhat satisfying to you to know that today, if you guys take out the RoxStars, that Roxy's going to be in some bad shape?
Yeah, I can't remember who it is.
All right, let's go to Mark Andreyko. Mark, this is an interesting position for you because you know the game very well. You and I speak about the game often. You know it. Now, Innergeekdom isn't necessarily your forte, but that doesn't mean that the game and having someone like you is going to be very beneficial for Jim Vevjoda.
Well, yeah, I mean, the thing that I learned when I finally reached it was the learning curve of being able to strategize and play the game. That's just as important as knowing the answers.
100%.
So, and I've been watching during this quarantine. I've watched, I think, every Schmodown ever, and now I'm in the Innergeekdom ones because I've run out of ones. So I'm by osmosis going to know some Star Wars questions, I think.
Mark?
Look, when you look at Kate Mulligan, Christian, I don't want to say the term stress eating. I don't want to come down on anyone like that. But Kate, it does appear that you've stolen one of your kids' sack lunches and you're claiming it as your own. Is that indeed the case? And why? Is it stress related?
Sorry, real quick. There's a hot packet in the fridge. Just grab a Coke. Sorry, it's my 2-year-old. No, first of all, that was mine. You guys planned a match right during lunchtime. So that's first of all. Well, secondly, Mark, I'm not nervous about Ben Goddard ever. Ever. Any match he wants to play, he wins. So guess what? Guess what you're about to see.
It's true. As of now, regardless
Okay,
of
one last question for you
the
before we get
everything.
competitors here too. You,
as far as I
you came
know,
into this
Goddard
league,
is
no one really
undefeated.
knew what you were going to do, how you were going to manage, and the Den has been really, really proving themselves. The Pride having a good run, Ben Goddard having a good run, Brett Sheridan winning a match. That alone should take you to Manager of the Year. So
that's right.
how
Demalanta is for its Star Wars belt.
About your first, I know you're a little hard on yourself sometimes, but do you feel
know about
that
Demalanta. I feel
this
like
tournament
he's
is yours
definitely
to
gonna be doing. He's gonna do
Yes.
very well.
And
I
I'll
don't know if
tell
he's
you
gonna
what.
take the belt. To be completely honest,
I think
I had to put money on it so far, Laura Kelly, but also she's in
I'm
my,
going to go down as
fantasy
the
leagues
refrigerator
right
Perry
now,
of the
so
season.
maybe that's just
you know what I'm saying.
bias,
The
but
William
still.
Refrigerator Perry.
But
I think I'm going to be the rookie that gets a really good hook on a rap song when this is all done. But I do have to say, I think, there's been a lot of controversy going into this thing. Please. Do I look nervous? Nah. Okay. I have faith in my guys. It starts today. Ben Goddard. There's a reason God's in his name. Okay.
Can we give Kate a new
so
nickname?
bad.
I think it should be Purse.
Yes,
something.
it is live. PC. My home skillet.
I actually like that one. I like
My
that
macaroni
one.
bake.
Well, listen, we still, even though
My
it was a
carne
long interview, we
asada.
still clocked in 3 minutes
is.
under
This is
Brandon
live.
Hanna's promo. So let's
I've not seen it before.
let us now say goodbye to the managers. Thank you, guys. Congratulations on getting here right now. And somebody keeps bringing Grace back. I understand. So let us start. Mark, now, are you ready?
I am ready to go. I am going to hold Kate Mulligan to that Super Bowl 20 shuffle on stage if we do the awards next year. If she wins Manager of the Year, she's got to bring her faction up there to do that. But Christian, in the meantime, the Punisher is ready to go.
Introducing first, representing the RoxStars, making his Innergeekdom debut. He is Jim, the Whiskey Man Vevjoda.
Love it. I love my intro.
You're the
Thank you so much for that. I
Oh
feel
my
like I've
gosh.
earned that. That's
Shipping
years
out
of
to
liver
Boston.
damage just came off now for Snowdown.
Well, you have earned it. You've been in this league for a little bit now. And, I've known you for a bit. I know how much you know as far as movies go. You've gotten some criticism in the past in regards to your knowledge of the game itself. Have you improved on that recently with the being added to Roxy's The RoxStars?
We'll find
should I go
out.
with
Yes,
right
I believe I have. You know what I haven't improved at?
Do you think I can tell I
Instacart.
like blue?
Even though I changed my delivery
That's
time, they were messaging me right
alternatively.
before this. So, screw 'em.
Yeah, Christian,
Most
No, I
people just go bad, but I'll win.
I got word that
I'm gonna go
David
with
and I are kind of kindred spirits because we're both doing our laundry as we speak. One of the many benefits of doing a showdown from my mansion. So, Jim, when you look at the landscape of Innergeekdom, I mean, let's be realistic about this. This is the play-in game, so I count you as being in the tournament. How far do you reasonably think you can make it? Can you get to the Final Four?
AOC?
I can Forrest
What's
Gump my way
AOC?
to that. Sure. Yeah,
I have
can
no
do
clue.
that. I believe in myself. Look, I'm a man wearing a pretty cool John Wick T-shirt.
That's pretty good. I like that
So
shirt.
that's gonna count for something. No, in all seriousness, I know my stuff. I mean, I know my weak areas and I know my strong areas, and
Yes. That's
I'm
half the
pretty
battle right
confident.
there.
And also,
realistically knowing where you
I
are,
did do some
recognizing
homework
weaknesses
this
and strengths
week
in
brushed
others,
up in those
and
areas that I was a little weak in. So hopefully,
things accordingly if
studying
necessary.
pays off, kids.
Well, we're going to find out because
Strategizing,
it's time
absolutely.
to introduce your opponent. And his opponent, representing the Den, making his Innergeekdom debut.
I can see that. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Ben, the Bandit Goddard. Ben Goddard from the Den. Ben, you have been having some season, my friend, here too. It seems like you've had a chip on your shoulder. It seems like you want to prove to the old timers that tell you, maybe relax, kid. You haven't been in this long enough to have that attitude. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I've wanted to play Innergeekdom for a long time. We've talked about it, and I'm glad I get to make my debut against, some of the best players in the league. I'm ready for this. Jim was confused between the difference of DC and DCEU, so I'm not that worried. And I'm taking this one match at a time. I know who's waiting for me next round, but it doesn't matter. I'm focused on Jim right now. I'm getting these 3 points for a TKO because Swag got gifted a TKO after the fact. So we got to take back second place, and we're coming after Finstock Exchange. Regardless, after this tournament, it's going to be a clear first place. Y'all can have the silver medals. We're going to get the gold.
All right, there is the bandit. We're going to bring Jim back in there too. The Whiskey Man, the bandit. Ready to Jim, do you have any words you wanted to say to Ben?
Yeah, I didn't know pre-show was on the table. Oh, I'm sorry, wait, I'm not supposed to.
We'll beep you out. We'll beep you out.
That's a JTE rule right there.
All right, Mark. Competitors have gotten here. They're ready to go.
I'm going to get like 0.2 points.
Round
Heads up.
number 1.
Everybody's favorite part of the show. The rules of round number 1 are as follows. It's the Inner Geekdom, and so you're going to have 10 questions from 10 different corners of Inner Geekdom goodness. Each question is worth 1 point. There's no penalty for missing a question. There is no stealing in round number 1. As soon as we ask the question, each competitor hopefully has a pen or some sort of writing utensil handy and a writing tablet of some sort, a yellow pad, a piece of paper, a steno book, whatever you feel comfortable with. Once we ask you by name to reveal what you wrote, please show that to the camera at the same time you verbalize your answer into the microphone. I'll remind each competitor that throughout the duration of the 3-round match, you each have 3 usages of the JTE rule. If you think you need more time to answer a question, you just want us to repeat it, use a JTE rule. You also each have 1 challenge to be used by your manager at any point throughout the 3-round match. Christian, back to you.
Start with Jim. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Ben, are you ready?
The artificial Venus. Of
Then
the
let's get
age.
ready to Schmodown. All right. Round number 1. Question number 1 in the Inner Geekdom play-in
like 5
match.
points. I'm not even kidding.
First question. In a category of the MCU. In 2012's The Avengers, what character's death is the catalyst needed to convince the team to work together?
Do you want a full name? Or?
We didn't need any of that, Christian. You and I just hit it off right away, right? I mean, you saw me come to your barbecue in 2003, and you're like, this is the guy.
That's not true, but for that's new canon. 5,
I think that's
4,
pretty accurate.
3, 2, 1. Pens down, and Jim.
Oh, you know what I really want to have right now?
It is, and thank you for the handwriting. I like the handwriting. Ben Goddard.
Agent Coulson.
Yes. Okay. 1-1. There it is.
Right. 1.
Would I have to put down
Agent
1
6th grader.
Coulson?
They both got 1 point.
Maybe,
know it.
maybe not.
That's what you're trying to teach me cursive.
That's my handwriting will ever be. Otherwise, it just,
Your next question, gentlemen.
I do
in the
appreciate
world
some
of
good handwriting.
Star Wars, and the question is,
Nope.
who played the character Count Dooku in the films Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith? Christian, has this name ever made you giggle?
Yes. The first time I saw it, did they say Dooku?
Maybe an Allison Duty.
That's a good one. 5,
Doobie-doobie-doo.
4, Duty. 3.
This one.
2,
Is it Christopher Lee?
Pens down, and
That
Ben
one?
Goddard.
Christopher Lee.
Yes, it is.
I did
and
get
Jim?
it. I got a Star Wars question
Christopher
right, guys.
Lee.
Call me
Excuse me,
Star Wars
2-2,
competitor
2-2.
nowadays.
2-2. Next question, gents. Here we go.
I haven't seen those since
Category of
college.
Middle Earth.
Rough.
Which actor plays Boromir in Lord of the Rings?
Sean Bean.
Great pronunciation there, Christian. Let me ask you a question.
Yes,
Between
go.
Christopher Lee's
Sean
characters
Bean.
in Star
My
Wars
dude.
and Lord of the Rings, who
Give me
wins
a
in
movie
one-on-one
where
fight?
he doesn't die.
The
at
one in
the
Lord
end,
of the Rings.
or at some point during the movie.
Really?
5,
Please tell me.
4,
It's like a whole
3.
thing.
Sorry, buddy. 2, 1. Pens down, and we start with Jim.
Sean Bean.
Yes,
Indeed.
it is. And Ben.
Sean Bean.
Yep. Okay.
Sean Bean,
3-3.
Sean Bean.
Mark.
Your next question, gentlemen, is in the world of DC. So DC films, not necessarily associated.
Not DCU,
with
but DC. That's
Remember
struggle.
that? Your
I've not
question.
even seen Superman.
Joaquin Phoenix and Robert De Niro star in
come
what
on.
2019
Joker.
DC film?
Wow.
This is a playing game.
Is this considered really
Hey, we're just making
DC,
sure
not
everybody's
DCU?
getting a good sweat going. They're
What?
lubricated, making their layups, their free throws.
4,
I don't know.
3, 2,
It's the Joker.
1.
though,
Pens
guys.
down, please. And we go to Ben Goddard.
Joker.
Yep. And Jim.
I thought like a 0.5
Joker.
point. Jesus,
Okay.
Mary and Joseph.
So we now see it 4-4.
It is a 1
As we
pointer,
get to
I guess,
the next question.
I guess.
Number 5. is Marvel films. Marvel films.
Marvel.
Who directed 2005's Fantastic Four?
Deep cut there. Christian, I'm so happy. Hopefully we'll never have to make a ruling if somebody writes down the Joker if they're referencing that movie.
That's what I think the writers were going for with that one, and I can see PJ
I feel like I
laughing
knew
'cause
at
he
one
knows that's what
point.
he's going
Not
for.
anymore.
5,
I'm going Bryan Singer.
4, 3, 2, 1. He causes me a lot of no sleep. All right,
Matthew
we
Vaughn?
start with
I don't
Jim
know.
Vevjoda.
Tim Story.
Yes, it is. And Ben.
There you go.
Tim Story.
There you go.
5. 5 questions to go, and both competitors.
Oh, yeah,
perfect,
right?
As
I
Booker
did
T
not
would
like
say.
Joker personally.
That's right, gentlemen.
I
If you get
understand
5
it,
more
but at the
questions
same time, I was
correct in
just
a
like, it's
row,
just
and you
not
don't
my-
miss one, then you'll be asked a bonus question that's also worth 1 point. But we're not there yet. Where we are is the Wizarding World, Harry
Wizarding
Potter.
World.
Go there in Universal Studios. You can meet Harry, Hermione, and John Rowe.
Oh, I love the
Question.
Wizarding World at Universal Studios.
In
It was so
Harry
much fun.
Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, what does Hagrid name his dragon?
Oh!
Mark, I would bet the bank that there's no chance you would get this right.
I was going to go with Molly.
Yeah, that's incorrect.
With an IE, not a Y.
5, 4,
I understand
3,
that, but he's directed movies
2,
outside of
1.
in
Pens
Marvel
down,
outside
and we
of
start
that, though.
with Ben Goddard.
Norbert.
Yes, sir. Jim.
But heads up, Bryan
Dracus.
Singer's directing.
Oh, so Den strikes
he's
first.
directing
Ben strikes first here.
super,
6-5.
some kind of
6-5.
female superhero character.
Ben takes his first lead
coming into
over
theater.
Jim.
Can't remember, but
Star Trek is the next. Who plays Jalaya in Star Trek Beyond?
oh, Sophia
Or
Boutella.
Jayla, excuse me. Who plays Jayla in Star Trek
Ooh.
Beyond?
I'm really torn here. I mean, if I was going to have a dragon, maybe I'd name it Ivan
Yeah,
because
Sophia
maybe it would have
Boutella, I
offspring.
wanna
Then I
say.
could just keep going with the Drago kind of thing. I'd
Yeah.
probably name them all Rocky characters. So I'd have like a George Washington Duke dragon,
5,
a Tommy
4,
Gunn dragon.
3, 2,
Red
1.
Sonja,
Pens down,
that's the one.
and
Yeah, I know that was.
Jim.
Yeah, I knew he's directing some movie.
I can't
upcoming.
believe I'm blanking on her name, but it's the actress from The Mummy.
Can't accept that. And Ben.
Sophia Boutella.
Yeah.
Correct. And now Ben
remember
goes
that
up by 2.
because
Ben
I
goes up
saw
by 2
I saw
here after
Artemis
being
the other
able
day.
to hit
That she's in.
Sophia Boutella's name as we get to number 8.
That's right, Sophia Boutella.
So I
friend
have
of the
5
show.
so far.
Your next
so.
category is, in fact, that DCEU I was talking about earlier. And your question, what DCEU film has the tagline, Accomplish Wonder?
I got to tell you, as much I give,
Is it Wonder
as the
Woman?
writers give me adjective, I love this question. I love this question.
Oh, good. So you love 1 out of the 90 they wrote for this match.
Correct. 5.
I guess
4.
so.
Can I get a repeat? This is from DCEU, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
first one. First repeat. Here we go.
Yeah.
Is it Shazam?
Repeat the question.
Oh, I'm gonna
Yeah,
go
I
with Shazam. I,
got
feel
it.
like it's a trick question.
Oh, it's you. Sorry. Go ahead.
What DCEU film has the tagline, Accomplish Wonder? I got it.
Oh,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
I'm gonna go with Shazam. I feel
forgot.
like it's a trick question.
That's like 2 outfielders running into each other.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Pens down and Goddard.
Wonder Woman.
No, it is not. And Jim.
Shazam.
I also had Wonder Woman.
Nope.
Chance to pick up some points there for Vevjoda. We're looking for Man of Steel.
Oh,
It's a
great
great
question.
Great question. Great question.
Great
I
question.
knew it wasn't that, but I couldn't think of anything.
Heroes and Villains is number 9. Heroes and Villains, but the
fudge.
perfect game for Goddard is gone at the moment. So Heroes and Villains. How many actors have portrayed Lex Luthor in live action on the silver screen since 1978?
They followed up that question with another great one.
Yeah.
On the
And
silver
this is
screen. means-
theatrically
I thought
released films,
that's
folks.
movie, not TV, obviously.
I think you and I
So
saw
like
one of these together.
4?
Maybe
I
5.
can only think of 3, but
3,
I'm gonna go with 4.
1. Pens
Feel like
down. We start
Yeah,
with Jim.
4.
3.
3 is correct. Ben.
Ah, damn.
3.
3. Okay.
Wait, was
so now
there
we
not
see
a Lex
ourselves 8 to
Luthor
6.
in
Ben
and
getting that, and Jim
Brendan
gets it as well.
Routh
8 to
Superman
6.
movie?
Jim only down by
I
2
thought there was.
right now as we get
Because I
to
initially thought of
question number
3.
9.
I could think of
Oh,
all
sorry.
of Gene Hackman,
Number 10. Number 10.
Kevin
This is the
Spacey,
last question in round
and Jesse
number
Eisenberg,
1.
obviously.
And it comes
but-
from the world of mixed bag. Reach your hand in there. Maybe it's from Marvel, DC. It could be a snake. Your question,
Oh, fudge.
What 2012 comic book film featured the tagline, "Judgment is coming"?
Oh. I don't know. I have no fucking clue.
Christian, the 3 actors playing Lex Luthor: Gene Hackman, Jesse Eisenberg, and some other guy.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And
I know it's Jesse Allen. I know it's
5,
Jesse Eisenberg,
4,
Gene
3,
Hackman, and Kevin
2,
Spacey, of course.
1 pen down. Ben Goddard.
Dredd?
Yes. And Jim.
I've actually never seen Dredd. I've been wanting to watch it for a while. Damn.
The Den. Seeing Ben Goddard hit another one. He is up 9-6. Only missing
difference.
1 question. Big round 1
I had 5 out
for
of the 10,
the Bandit and
so
the Denmark as we find ourselves into round number 2. How those rules work.
Denmark, I'm in the U.S. Anyway, round number 2 is known as the wheel round. And yes, folks, we have an electronic wheel handy. And boy, does it work wonders. So each competitor gets a spin at that wheel, which today is a sponsored wheel, thanks to one of our patrons, Andy Schick. How about a hand for Andy, everybody? Andy Schick coming in.
Thank you, Andy.
And who said it? So thank you, Andy, for your patronage. If you want to have your name read during an upcoming match, check out the Schmoes Know Patreon and select which tier is right for you. Now back to that wheel that Andy Schick so kindly sponsored. There's 12 slices on that wheel. You have opponents and spinner's choice. You also have 10 categories.
It's been on my watch list for a while. Lucas really loves this movie. I just haven't gotten to it.
You're going to get 5 questions in that world. Each question is worth 2 points. There is no penalty for missing a question. There is no stealing in round number 2. I'm kidding. Of course, they're stealing in round number 2.
I haven't
There's
seen it in a while.
always
How you been?
stealing in round number 2. So if a competitor misses a question, the other competitor can steal it and try to get that answer. So if you're not sure of the question or the answer, ask us for multiple choice. We'll give you 4 options, one of which is the correct answer. At that point, the value of the question goes down to 1. So we have Ben Goddard and Jim Vevjoda. Christian Ben has used one of his JTE rules. Vevjoda has not
real
as
villain
of
of
right now
Schmoedown.
as we enter into round number 2. Ben, you have the lead. So would you like to spin Andy Schick's electronic wheel first, or would you like to defer?
Can I talk to my manager before I decide?
Yes, you can. So I'm going to move Jim out.
What is on that wheel? I'm going to pause that real quickly.
We can have 2 managers here. So let me move Jim out. Excuse me.
Keep those hands up, Mulligan.
Now during this time, because I'm a manager. Okay, now during this time, I do like to strategize with like pretty as far ahead as I can.
All right, so Ben and his manager Kate have conferred. Ben, have you made a decision? What do you want to do?
I will go first.
Yeah.
All right, you're going.
Now, I do want to mention the reason why, if you are going first, not only does it show that you are confident in your abilities, obviously, but it shows that, nice, you go get your karaoke on. I'm excited. I'm jealous for you. Let us know your jams when the time comes. I'm curious. But like I mentioned, one of the reasons why you always want to go, if you go first, it shows that not only are you very confident in yourself as a competitor, but also it gives you first dibs. So if you're confident in where you are, how you're doing statistically, if you're analyzing a wheel and you say, okay, I know there's like 12 or 13 slices on a wheel, right? And let's say I like 6 of them. Okay, so if you like 6 out of the 13 potential slices, that's a little less than half, right? So that means the wheel is not in your favor. So you always want the wheel to be in your favor as much as possible, right? In an ideal world, based on, how you feel about the different slices and categories. However, if the wheel is in your favor, where it's definitely above the 50%, you want to go first because you're much more likely to statistically get a slice that is in your favor. Now, if a wheel is not in your favor, you want to go second and move on to the second. So if you do have something, if you are only confident in 4 out of the 13 or 5, where you ideally would want to be at a 7 or an 8, right? Going into if you are going second, you're taking that slice away, where it's going to increase your chances to ideally get a slice that you would like. So it would change the statistics to be in your favor a little bit. So there you go. That's why. Strategy is real, guys.
We're going to go first here. So Ben Goddard will go first. Let's get the wheel up there, please.
Where is that wheel? Where is the wheel that Andy gave us? Hey, there we go.
All right, well, let's just analyze this real quickly.
Gonna...
Okay, we got DC Okay. Let me change that thing real quick. Okay, so we got DC, Star Trek, Marvel, Middle Earth, DCEU, Wizarding World, Spinner's Choice, of course, Opponent's Choice. Who said it? Ooh, that's a hard category to ace. MCU, Star Wars, Star Trek. And what's the one across from Wizarding World that's covered by the ad? I cannot tell. Is that Mixed Bag? Is that Heroes and Villains? I can't tell. Scores and soundtracks. Wait. Yeah, that's scores and soundtracks. Okay. So these are very popular slices, pretty well-established slices. So they have to know at least, they need to be confident in at least 7 of these slices, considering they're like very popular categories that everyone should know. So if you get it
up here,
you don't obviously you don't want any of them to be
the decision is made. Here's the spin.
Stolen, obviously.
All right, Ben Goddard clearly using his mind to spin the wheel.
I would prefer personally to be. Ooh.
All right.
Okay.
So we're gonna have to bring Jim and Draco over here.
All right. Time for
so
Roxy.
Jim and Draco.
Mark to pop
Draco is not being. He froze. Perfect. Right at perfect time. There he is. Are you there, Mark?
All right.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
I want to confer with my manager on that.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring Kate out for a second.
I would go with scores and soundtracks
Or
or
all right,
who said it.
Bringing
but
in
I would
Mark
be curious
and Draco
about
here, who
what
can confer with Jim Vevjoda
Jim's,
about
how he would
what they
feel
wanna do for
about
opponent's
those
choice.
categories as well, because obviously you want to think to yourself when you're picking an opponent's choice. You want to pick not only are they bad at, but what is something I'm good at, right? Because I want to steal those points. So
all right, Ben. They've given you scores and soundtracks for your category here. You get 5 questions. 5 questions in scores and soundtracks. Are you ready?
Scores and soundtracks. All right.
All right, here you go. Question number 1. And again, you know what? I'm going to put Jim, make sure you have your hands up here too while you watch, because you can steal. So we're going to keep you in here too. Please keep your hands so we can see them. All right, here we go. Mark, excuse me. Here we go, Ben. First question. Who composed the score for both parts of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows?
Alan Silvestri.
Howard Shore.
It's incorrect for the steal.
Thomas Newman.
Alexander Desplat.
What's your final answer?
Alexander Desplat. I can spell it.
Spell it, please.
Desplat.
That is correct. All right.
Ooh, I would have challenged the fuck out of that.
We have a 2-point steal here
for
Jim.
He spelled it correctly. He didn't.
Still in
he didn't
favor of
pronounce it correctly initially.
Still in favor of Ben, but question number 2.
He went with Desplat. So,
what song plays while Night Owl and Silk Spectre make love in 2009's Watchmen?
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Yes, it is. 2 points for Ben Goddard.
Go me.
Not a song you should make love to.
No, probably not.
Not a super sexy song.
All right. So the next question here, question 3. Who composed the score of X-Men First Class?
Multiple choice.
I have no clue.
A. Henry Jackman. B. John Ottman. C. Michael Kamen. D. John Powell.
Powell? I'm going to go with Powell. Yeah. Close. No clue.
Jackman.
A is correct. One point.
Sorry, A. Henry Jackman.
That's okay.
Sorry.
1 point. That's okay. 1 point for Ben Goddard. Here's question 4. In Kingsman, The Golden Circle, what song does Elton John play when Eggsy and Harry attack Poppyland?
I just listened to Recommend for the first time, and it's in that.
The bitch is back.
It's incorrect. For the steal, Jim?
Friday night's all right for fighting.
Looking for Saturday Night's all right.
Killer. And it was there for the taking. Ooh.
Almost had the steal there. But so, Ben, your final question here.
Yeah.
Final question. Dennis McCarthy composed the score for which Star Trek film starring the cast from The Next Generation?
Wait, what?
Multiple choice.
Is it A, Star Trek Insurrection, B, Star Trek Nemesis, C, Star Trek Generations, D, Star Trek First Contact.
Generations?
Contact?
For 1 point.
Oh.
All right, so we now have multiple choice. Oh, it's multiple choice. I saw the text that Kate put in.
That's 13-8. Christian. So Ben Goddard, not a bad round considering the fact that he spun opponent's choice and got saddled with scores and soundtracks, but Jim Vevjoda, a big steal in there, could have had 2 more points if he just got the right day of the week. He was off by 1. It was still technically a weekend night, but Saturday night is all right for fun.
Yeah, it is absolutely right. But the thing is, that opponent's choice worked in his favor because he has now cut the lead down to 5 as he goes for his spin in round number 2. All right, we're going to bring Mark Andreyko back here.
Now,
we're going to drop Goddard out. And now we're going to bring the wheel back as
opponent's choice
Jim
does
Vevjoda
not
gets
change
his opportunity to
your
spin. Here we go.
statistics, though. It does not change your percentages on how likely or unlikely you're going to land on something, though.
He had a few whiskeys last night.
I don't know what he's trying to say. Oh, look at that. Oh, the Wizarding World. The Wizarding World. You want to keep it or spin away from it?
You either love it or hate it. It's a really difficult category to ace unless you love it. If you grew up loving Harry Potter, you love the movies and everything, awesome. But it's a very difficult category to ace. Opponent's choice as well.
So it lands on opponent's choice. So now we're going to bring back in the Den Mother herself and Ben Goddard. All right. So what do you guys say?
The game is addictive. I just started playing Torchlight 2, I want to say, with Lucas, and it's a fun time. So
Wizarding.
All right, we're going to go to Wizarding World here. So we're going to bring back
very good
Jim.
at
we're going to let Mark.
World.
Sorry, Mark
so
is going to be out too.
I'm not surprised, to be honest.
Get Kate. All right, so we're bringing back Jim Vevjoda. All right, here we go, and we start with Harry Potter for Jim Vevjoda.
All right, Jim Vevjoda, you have selected Harry Potter.
Yeah, I know Ben
is
very good at Wizarding World, so it's pretty solid.
Christian, both competitors listening to their managers on the opponent's choice. So the first question for Jim in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Who plays the ghost nearly headless Nick in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone?
Multiple choice.
Is it A, Hugh Laurie, B, Eric Idle, C, Stephen Fry, or D, John Cleese?
John Cleese.
An all-time legend and Magnavox spokesperson. You are correct for a point.
1 point for Jim. He makes it 13-9.
All right. Next
I took the Pottermore quiz, and I am in Slytherin.
In
Danny,
Harry
we're
Potter
Slytherin,
and the
right,
Deathly
boy?
Hallows Part 1. Who kills Dobby, the house elf?
How dare you speak her name?
Multiple
Bellatrix
choice?
Lestrange.
Is it A, Bellatrix Lestrange, B, Draco Malfoy, C, Fenrir Greyback, or D, Lucius Malfoy?
I used to go to a bunch of wizarding rock concerts with my friends when I was in high school.
Can I get that again?
I can repeat it once without use of a JTE rule. Your options once again. Is
And
it
it was
A,
always a fun
Bellatrix
time.
Lestrange, B, Draco Malfoy, C, Fenrir Greyback, or D, Lucius Malfoy?
Bellatrix Lestrange.
He's maneuvering his way around this round admirably, Christian. That's another correct answer for Jim.
1 point. Sees himself 13-10 now, cutting it down to 3.
All right, Mr. Vevjoda, your next question. In Harry Potter, Voldemort is able to obtain a relic from each founding member of Hogwarts, except for whom?
Rowena Ravenclaw.
Multiple choice.
Is it A, Rowena Ravenclaw?
I beat it, just
Helga
saying. I totally
Hufflepuff,
get the full points on
C,
that one.
Godric Gryffindor, or D, Salazar Slytherin?
Can you repeat that?
Read the question or repeat
No, just the multiple choice.
That'll count you. That'll count you 1 JTE.
Then Ravenclaw.
That is incorrect. So,
Oh.
Ben, I can repeat the options for you for the steal. Is it A,
It's
Rowena
incorrected.
Ravenclaw, B, Helga Hufflepuff,
Oh.
C, Godric Gryffindor, or D, Salazar Slytherin?
Guess it is
Gryffindor?
Gryffindor.
Correct, Ben Bateman. Ben Goddard has a steal, Christian.
All right.
For
So
the 1
now we
point.
see our,
Nice. He
our
needed that.
fourth
He needs that
question.
point going
Our
away
fourth
from it.
question here, Mark.
That's right. 14-10 is now the count. Okay, Jim, your next question.
Come on,
this
Jim,
is
you
your
got this,
fourth
boy.
and penultimate question in this round. In the Order of the Phoenix, which character drops the orb with the prophecy about Harry in it, shattering it, during the climax of the Ministry of Magic?
Crap, I forgot about that one.
Multiple choice.
Is it A, Harry, B, Sirius Black, C, Bellatrix Lestrange, or D, Lucius Malfoy?
It's Lucius? I think. Or is it Sirius?
5.
Or is it Bellatrix? Or is it Harry? I don't know.
Harry.
That is
with
incorrect,
Lucius.
Ben. I'm going to give you your options for a steal. Is it A, Harry, B, Sirius
Lucius,
Black,
maybe.
C, Bellatrix Lestrange, or D, Lucius Malfoy?
D, Lucius Malfoy.
Another 1 point steal for Ben
Yes.
Goddard. Christian, it is 15-10 going into our
5
final
points back. Yep. He got his 5 points back. So Jim needs to hit either 1 or 2 points here to keep it within range. A 2-point steal could be pretty devastating.
Here it is, and I don't think these guys are going to be wanting to talk about either Harry Potter or Scores and Soundtrack anytime soon after this. Your last question, Jim, in the Wizarding world. In the finale of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, who does Harry refer to as the bravest man I've ever known?
Snape!
Multiple choice.
Is it A,
Oh
Albus
my
Dumbledore,
gosh,
B,
it's
Severus
Snape.
Snape, C, Sirius Black, or D, Remus
He named
Lupin?
his son. His middle name is like Severus. Sweet baby Jesus. It's
5, 4.
Dumbledore.
That is incorrect, Ben. Your multiple choice options. Is it
Okay.
A, Albus Dumbledore,
5,
B,
6, 7,
Severus
8,
Snape,
9,
C,
10.
Sirius Black, or D, Remus Lupin?
2, 4,
Severus
5, 6,
Snape.
7.
Another 1 point steal. Christian, Ben Goddard
Ooh,
is
that's
going
a
to enjoy a
huge
6-point lead going
Yeah.
into round number 3.
Sorry.
It was
Jim,
a big,
James.
big move here. The opponent's
Yeah.
choice, and they chose it. They thought about it. They picked the right one here with Wizarding World. Ben clearly knew it, and Jim struggled. He had a good start there, Mark, with the first couple, but then they just kind of tied him up. Smart move, though, going to multiple choice. Could have been a lot more damaging if he made some big misses with the 2s.
Yeah, I mean, Christian, he played that round as well as he possibly could have, and I'd say the same for Ben. Opponent's choice twice in a play-in match. I mean, things are already getting Final Four temperature here in this Innergeekdom tournament as we move in to round number 3. This is the round that will determine the match. I'll give you gentlemen the rules here right now. Each competitor is going to give us a series of numbers. We need 3 numbers from each of you. These numbers can range from 1 to 15. Each number corresponds to a different corner of movie trivia schmodown Innergeekdom know-how. Your first question is worth 2 points. Your next one is worth 3 points. Your last one, should we make it that far, is worth 5 big points. Keep in mind, competitors, there's no penalty for missing a question, and there is no stealing in round number 3. Ben, you and Jim each have 2 usages of the JTE rule left. So I'm going to ask you first, Ben, because you're up 16-10. Between 1 to 15, what 3 numbers feel the luckiest to you?
Let's go 4, 7, 11.
All right.
11 for Goddard and for Jim.
Yeah, absolutely agree. He is
Let's
definitely
see,
the front
I'll
runner for
do,
Rookie of the Year, doing successfully and being successful in
Let's do
3 different leagues right now.
3. Let's do 6, 8, 9.
And Christian, it does appear that the Wizards in my ear tell me Vevjoda did not actually use a JTE rule, so he still has all 3 at his disposal, while Ben does retain his 2.
All right, so here we go. We start
Good catching
with
that,
Jim
guys.
Vevjoda,
Well done.
who is trying to avoid the TKO here. He chose category number 6. Category number 6 for Jim. Jim, you chose Middle Earth.
Oof.
Name one person who is credited as a screenwriter on the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Multiple choice.
You can't have multiple choice on
Peter
this round.
Jackson?
Peter Jackson.
Correct for 2 points.
There it is.
Correct for 2 points. All right, so
Sorry. I mean, I'm not stealing, so.
we see ourselves 16-12. 16-12. All right, Jim, you got to hit this one here. This is still have an opportunity. Hold on. So Jim has his 3-pointer here. 3-pointer, and that was 8. That was number 8. That's Indiana Jones.
Ooh, that's
Indiana Jones.
a deceivingly hard
In Temple
category.
of Doom,
Oh,
the
shoot.
Thuggee cult from the temple stole the Shankara stones from a local village and took what else from them?
Oh,
Their children.
It's correct for 3 points. Correct for 3 points.
I haven't seen that
So
movie.
Jim
since-
Vevjoda now. Jim
Actually, I
Vevjoda
don't
sees
feel like I've
himself
seen the movie in full.
16-15. Now, if he hits his 5-pointer, it bounces back to Ben Goddard. However, If he misses it, the Den will win by TKO and get themselves 3 points. 3 big points here because the play-in matches are worth 2 points, but a KO is worth 1. All right, Jim, you chose category number 9 for your 5-pointer. To send it back.
Gotta love that. Gotta love that music.
Marvel is your question.
Marvel as a not MCU.
In the film Daredevil, Bullseye kills a man in a bar by throwing what object into the man's throat?
A dart.
A nut.
And your winner,
it's a dart.
By way of technical knockout, Ben the Bandit Goddard. Ben the Bandit Goddard. We're going to bring back Mark and Jim in just a second here.
Paperclip.
Big TKO victory here, ladies, for Ben Goddard. He finds himself still in professional play, not exhibitions, professional play, undefeated. Undefeated. Finds himself. So you guys are watching this, starting here with Kate. You're watching from the sideline here, and Ben Goddard holds it together. A lot of rookies. Oh, yeah, by the way, sorry.
It was a paperclip. It's 5-pointer.
The answer, by the way, was paperclip.
Paperclip.
Paperclip was the answer. All right, so Kate, you're watching from the sidelines. You see it now. A lot of rookies would have gotten opponent's choice, and they might have shut down. He didn't do that. He held his composure. Jim hits opponent's choice. You guys debated on what to give him. Wizarding World was the right. Let me ask you that first. Wizarding World. How stressful was that to pick that particular thing to see how Jim was going to be there?
Stressful, to be honest.
I wasn't stressed about that at all. I mean, I got to tell you, when he spun away from it, I said we didn't get Norbert. Everybody knows Norbert the Dragon. Listen, let me tell you something about Ben Goddard. Not only has he played in 3 different divisions, but now, as of today, he has a win in 3 different divisions, and he has 2 wins in 1 of the divisions. So come at us all and tell me that Ben Goddard doesn't belong in this tournament, people.
Look, Christian, you look at Ben Goddard's performance here today, and I think that the only flaw you might be able to find is that he might have not studied scores and soundtracks as much as he wanted to. Ben, is that the case? Do you study scores and soundtracks, or is it something that you kind of put on the back burner?
Absolutely, Mark. I should have gone to multiple choice on both the questions I got wrong. I could hear that Elton John song, but also I could hear Rocket Man in the back of my head, so those two got me mixed up. But I'm definitely going to study more. I'm glad to get 3 points. We're up there. I belong here. I belong in this tournament for real. And now I have nothing to lose. I have 0 to lose. I have 0 pressure on me the next game. Robert Parker's the golden boy. If I win, it's the biggest upset of the year. If I lose, I'm supposed to lose. So I have no pressure.
True. Well, let me ask you about that, though. So
Very
Parker,
true.
I mean, look, this is one of those things, you say you have nothing to lose. The one thing I would say is that you're one of the few rookies, if I can't remember the other rookie to do this, to come in rookie season and go singles, teams, Innergeekdom undefeated, right? So the one thing that you could lose is you could lose a match and have that loss on your record. Now, it is against Robert Parker. Will the studying intensify, knowing that this is the guy that everyone says is the next great thing?
Robert Parker knows what he knows. I can't do anything about that. I just got to work on what I know. I knew every single overtime question in the Lord of the Rings match. He got 1 more question right than me, and that was the difference. He's a heck of a player, but again, he is the Innergeekdom golden child. I'm not. I've already does he have wins in three leagues? No. He has 1 win and 1 league.
It's actually a goal of mine to
Grace,
watch 25
once again, you guys are sitting pretty here.
Movies.
Not a lot of times that people can call, it's just a few that people can call victory
so far,
over the
I've
Den.
seen
You guys
4,
are
so I'm definitely
doing
staying on track.
really well here. How are you feeling about Ben Goddard?
I'm feeling great. We're very proud, but like I said at the beginning of this game, we are not surprised. Nobody here was stressed. Nobody here was nervous. Look, scores and soundtracks is the Karen of this league. Is that a blank spot? For sure. But he never lost his lead in this entire game. He's undefeated. We're talking through this kid is unstoppable, hence why he's in the Den.
That's right. So look, guys, congratulations. That is a big 3 points here. Big 3 points as we see the Den take a TKO victory in the first play-in game of this Innergeekdom tournament. Congratulations, Grace and Cade, and of course, Ben the Bandit.
Just a pause for a hot second. So it turns out I had I don't even know how this would really come out, but I had 5 points in the first round, 7 points in the second round if I were answering I'm confusing myself. If I were answering Jim's questions with the Wizarding World category, I would have had, before getting totally kicked out, I would have had 13, 14, 15 points as well. And and Jim didn't play going in third round, so it doesn't matter. But 15 points, yeah! That's actually a lot better than I thought it would. So I'm actually, self-5. Oh, whoopsie. I paused it.
Goddard. All right, guys, I'm going to remove you all from the stream here. All right, everybody. So there was Kate Mulligan, Grace Hancock, and the winner of today's match via TKO, Ben the Bandit Goddard. Now let's bring in the RoxStars here. We got Jim Vevjoda and Mark Andraco. This is a hard one here, Andraco, for the RoxStars. You guys are having some. It seems to be kind of what's going on with the RoxStars, because it was a great first round. Opponent's choice happens. Jim gets a couple good steals, but then he just missed. He missed that Elton John one. That could have been a big one. How you feeling, man? How you feeling about this match, Android?
Well, I think we've all made mistakes with one word. I think every single one of us has. That just happens in the heat of the match. I think we did as well as we could have. With opponent's choice, Ben did better in scores and soundtracks than I thought he would have. And Harry Potter was obviously not in the top 10 list of things we wanted to pick, but he did what I would have done. He went multiple choice, and
he was actually very smart with that second round.
And
all things considered,
you can't win them all. There's it's disappointing, but there's no shame in it. Sometimes it's just not your turn.
I do agree with that, Jim.
Yeah,
what Mark says about you can tell
taglines
that
are definitely
your gameplay
underrated
has improved,
source of
because
questions.
I think
Absolutely.
Last year in round number 2, you probably would have just tried to answer and maybe forgotten about multiple choice. You didn't know Harry Potter that well, but you navigated it very well and fought through it, and only had a 5-point or 6-point deficit going into round number 3. But how did you feel about your gameplay and your Innergeekdom debut?
I think by virtue of the fact that I lost by 1 point in a category that is not my strong suit, I'm not feeling too bad. I did actually study this week Harry Potter stuff.
Yeah.
And I knew the minute I said Dumbledore that it was Snape. It was just one of those things where the pressure's like 5, 4, 3, and you get down to the 2-second thing, and I'm like, Dumbledore. But I was like, knowing the movie and knowing the arc, I should have said Snape. In terms of the Elton John song, look, I'm from Boston. Every night is all right for fighting.
Severus Snape.
One of my favorite tunes. It's one of my favorite guitar riffs. It might be my favorite Elton John song, so my heart broke for you a little bit. But
I'll never hear the end of it.
For you is, where do you go from here? Do you think that you're able to pick up the pieces and be a competitor in Innergeekdom? Do you think that this was a one-off? Where's your mindset right now?
It was ridiculous. I loved it.
I do think I have a very good chance at still competing and all that. And I think, look, I performed really well in a lot of the categories, and I did surprise him enough that he was second guessing whether or not he should go Wizarding World. It's a good thing he conferred with his manager. And if this doesn't work out, I probably have a pretty good chance at being a better Instacart guy than the guy I was dealing with today.
Well,
there's always that option. But no, in all seriousness, I think I've a really good chance. I think it really was a luck of the draw thing that I ended up on opponent's choice, because I got the Indiana Jones stuff fine. I did everything well. The Daredevil thing is a pisser, but if you really remember that movie that well,
used to kill the old lady.
I feel bad for you.
But not the.
I will say this: I do have to
so.
ask Mark and Draco before I let you guys go. But Jim, I do think you played a hell of a match for your first Innergeekdom and for a singles match. To be completely honest with you,
1 point loss, people. 1
Oh,
point.
this was your very first. Oh, then I'm even more impressed.
Yeah, he's played in teams, but he's never. This is his first outside. This is his first.
I'd seen the team matches. I just
at
assumed
the DMV.
this is a great first match.
I probably can't talk.
Very
I'm like
competitive.
My background is just blue.
There are no weak links in the Innergeekdom competition.
Well, let me ask you though, Mark, because I mean, I know Roxy very well, and you've been one of her longest. It started really with you and Snyder here. This is RoxStars. She takes these things really hard. She takes the losses hard, and she really cares about all of you guys. I know, she even says it on her podcast how much she treats you like her children. And
absolutely.
So how do you think she's gonna be able to handle this one?
I think, I texted her afterward. I think that hearing it, she'll be bummed, but I think when she watches it, she'll be very pleased as you can be with a loss. Let's contextualize it that way. Yeah. But like I said, now knowing, I'm kind of glad I didn't know this was Jim's first match going in, because I would have been more nervous. I thought he handled himself well, and we've all been in matches where the questions just weren't there for us, and you could, if the answer, you could sit there all day and not know it, you can't be mad at yourself for losing for a question like that.
So I want you to answer even more than the Elton John one that bugged me that I should have gotten. I just simply brain farted, couldn't remember her name, was Sophia Boutella, because I interviewed her for that movie. I know who she is. I love Star Trek, and mine went blank.
It happens to the best of us. Yeah, Jim, listen, I wanted to thank you again for being here today. Thank you for competing. Mark and Draco, it's always a pleasure to see you.
Good to see you guys.
Thank you, guys. All right, let me take both these guys out of here, too. Mark, we did it. The play-in match, one of the play-in matches is done. We have our second one. It's right around the corner, and it's going to be the Warfather. We've seen him before. You talk about a guy that has just made an impact with his big personality, and he's going to be there with Burnett. He takes on Greg Alba from the Quirky Mercs. I don't know. This is going to be a comedy show, to say the least.
Yeah, a good clash of managers and contestants in this one, Christian. And my question is, what is Warfather going to be able to bring to the table from a knowledge standpoint? With Greg Alba, what's he going to be able to bring to the table from a competitive standpoint? He's going to take this seriously. So he's great at cracking jokes. When it's crunch time, can he suck it up and get that correct answer? Christian, the groceries have been delivered, and now it feels like the Innergeekdom tournament is heating up.
Yes, it is, Mark. Thank you so much for joining us, as always, for the great Mark Ellis, Baby Carrots. I'm Christian Harloff. Tune on in. Got a lot of tournaments. Make sure if you're not tuning into the Star Wars tournament, then you do it. Go to twitch.tv/the Schmodown. A lot of great content over there on our Twitch channel. Join today and make sure that you watch the Innergeekdom tournament every Thursday and Friday on this channel here on YouTube. Thank you to the great crew that we have. Thank you to the great Eric, the Nerd Chronic himself, for the wonderful editing and great promos here today. So thank you, guys. We will see you next time. Peace out.
All right. Now, guys, again, okay, it's just going to pick up where we left off before, where that kind of changes the standings a little bit. I don't know if, oopsie. There we go. Okay, sorry. I was still hearing the video that came directly after. Okay, now just want to let you guys know as well. In the description, if you do have the means to, we would definitely appreciate you donating to the Black Lives Matter movement. There's a bunch of different fundraisers and charities and everything going on right now. We actually, as a call to action, I actually participated in co-hosting one of the not matches. It's not a charity match. What am I thinking? One of the episodes, charity fundraisers as well, and it was amazing. We were able to raise so much money for an amazing cause, and we ended up donating it directly to the George Floyd Memorial Foundation. George Memorial Fund. Sorry, not foundation. But yeah, so it's in the description. Please, if you have the means and please do so, and definitely go do that. Obviously, I do know these are very difficult times. You can also just read up on it, find ways to, we can always find ways to better ourselves, help other people as well, and just keep spreading the word that, these are times that we really need to support each other, and really, we had a lot of work to do, essentially. But absolutely, do some reading, do some research, and find ways to improve overall. But I would love to know what you guys think about this match. Do you think? How did you feel like Jim did? How do you feel like Ben did? He is winning. He's undefeated across the board in all 3 matches. And you're right. I totally think he is. I don't know about him winning up against Parker, because Parker is Parker. He hasn't lost a single question. Now that being said, he has only played 1 match. He did have a perfect game in that 1 match, but it was just 1 match. And Goddard, he didn't get perfect in this one, but he did perform fantastic. I would love to see him, beat Parker. I love an upset, and I love, being surprised when it comes to these matches. And yeah, I love to see some, newer blood and everything go in there and possibly go for the belts overall. So yeah. Oh, fantastic. Okay. So real quickly, if you guys have any questions or comments or anything, please let me know over in the over there in the chat. And otherwise, I'm going to be hopping out here very soon. I am actually going to be doing some karaoke with the Video Drew here in a little bit, in just like maybe an hour or so. So it's going to be a real fun time. Do yourself a favor and hop over there to Twitch video, looking for Video Drew. It's so much fun. We're going to be singing a whole bunch of Disney songs and not Disney songs. But it's going to be really, really great. I cannot guarantee it's going to be, I'm going to sing any good, but I'll have a cocktail and see what happens. Things change after a cocktail. Am I red or am I red? Yeah, keep it kid friendly. Yeah, that one. But you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I know there's so much going on, so I really appreciate you coming in and hanging out with us today. Yes, Video Drew Karaoke Night is an awesome night, so definitely come and hang out. Yeah, I can see if I can include a link real quick. Let me double check. What am I listening to? What am I listening to? Video Drew. Yes, there it is. I'm going to post a link in there. But yeah, just come hang out with me, and I would love to you tell me what songs to sing, because I am horrible when it comes to picking songs. I'm not going to lie. I would probably pick like the same 10 songs. No, Danny, I did see West Side Story for the very first time in full. I've heard some of the songs, but I never actually saw the movie. I saw the movie for the first time in full yesterday, and I'm not going to lie, I almost flat out cried by the end of it. I thought it was very beautiful. I was surprised by how much how much I really enjoyed the musical overall. Not to mention the sheer physicality of the dancers. I was like, oh my gosh. And that's only that, the chemistry between, the gang members and between the Sharks and the Jets and everything. Riff and Bernardo and Anita. Oh my gosh, Anita. I loved Anita. Anita was everything. I would actually love to see a double feature between Grease and this, just because like Anita and Rizzo give me life with their like short hairdos and their sass and like everything that goes on. I thought they were amazing. Annie, I can't remember Annie the musical, I assume that's what you're referring to. Yeah, definitely. Please let me know. I would love to sing a new song. There's like a bunch of songs in there that I don't know. So obviously I wouldn't sing a song that I am completely unfamiliar with. But I hate making decisions when it comes to making decisions, especially when it comes to karaoke. So I usually prefer for someone to usually pick for me. And then I'm like, oh, I'll wing it. See what happens. What are you gonna do? All right. But yeah. This is one of my last streams before my birthday. My birthday's gonna be on Monday, so this is gonna be like my kind of like mini birthday weekend-ish. I'm just gonna be hanging out alone, really, with my husband, and we're gonna drink some cocktails and have some beer and maybe eat some barbecue or something. But you guys, thank you so much. Love you guys. Have a great day. You can find me on Twitch. Not Twitch. I don't have a Twitch. You can find me on Twitter. That's what I meant to say. At real_AlexMac. And you can find us over on Twitter at Call to Action Pod overall. And check us out on Facebook. Everything is in the description box. So